みなさんこんにちは。ジャックと
なほです。
And now we're going to tell you some things you should know if you're planning to come to London.
So if you're visiting London the first time, you might feel a little nervous. So maybe we can help a little from this video. Let's go! In London, we don't have so many rules, so not so many public toilets.
So if you go to a cafe or restaurant, you should use the toilet there. Don't feel awkward about going into a place just to use the toilet. Some cafes will they try and stop people doing that, so you need like a code to use the bathroom or something. But for the most part, especially if it's like a pub or something.
Yeah, pub is good. ほんまにないから行けるときに行っといた方がいいと思います。Good to carry the pocket tissue だよ。トイレットペーパー切れてるっていうことがよくある。切れてなくてもトイレットペーパーが地面に転がってるとか、流せるポケットティッシュ持っていた方がいろいろ役に立つと思うので。Transportation なんだけど most of the people might be worried tapping card とか tickets とかが心配だと思うんですけど I think most of the people knows the Oyster card that like イコカとかみんなピタみたいな感じのタッチして改札とか通れるカードなんですけど actually we don't have it なのね You don't need to buy Oyster cards just have the contactless credit card is okay. Just touch the card everywhere. はい。ここにタップしてて。Ticket gates or in restaurants.
So using your contactless card works out a bit cheaper because it's the contactless card that has the maximum limits on it. So if you travel around London with your contactless card, like the maximum amount that you can pay in a day is £13.90. So after you've paid £13.90, every train you take is free. You know, so better to use your contactless card.
バスが多分国とか地域によって違うから不安に思ってる人もいると思うんですけど、バスは、乗るとき tap the card, ride from front of the bus だね。So next to the driver there is a card reader.
You'll get used to the yellow
round one.
readers.
So just tap the card. When you get off, don't need to touch anything. Just get off.
Yeah.
バスフィーは一律なので乗るときだけタップすれば大丈夫です。So in Japan, we can use internet when we are in the subway, in the tube, but we can't in London. Underground doesn't have internet at all. When you travel, so you should search the route before you go into the station. どこの駅で降りるんやっけとか思っても地下鉄乗っちゃえばもうほんまに電波がないので調べることができないんです。だからスクショとか最初にしといた方がいいと思います。まあポケット Wi-Fi 持ってたら別だけどね。
Japanese people often wonder if they need to tip when they come to the UK. This is true for the UK and all over the world. Is that tipping is voluntary. You only do it if you want to do it. Folks from other countries might disagree a little bit, like in America it's a little controversial. But these days in the UK you don't really need to tip anywhere. Like restaurants usually have a service charge, which will be 10 or 12.5% of the total fee of the meal.
Yeah.
Other than restaurants, you never really needed to tip anyone else anyway. So don't worry about tipping if you come to the UK.
Close down. Don't need to take out the cash. In London. Everything's cashless.
Yeah.
ほんまにいらないです。2年住んで1回しか出してないんで心配して出す人もいてると思うんですけど後々また換金しないとダメだからそれだったら出さない方が節約にもなると思うので本当にカードだけあればタッチのカードがあれば一番便利です。
Free water? The way to ask for it is to ask for tap water. In general, if you ask for water, 99% of restaurants, cafes, pubs will just give you a cup of water. Some of them will do it without you asking for it, but maybe like 1%, especially like very fancy restaurants, will not assume that you want the free water. They'll assume that you want the fancy water. So you have to tell them tap water.
Yeah, there's some Japanese people worry that London is hot water. People worry that we can't drink hot water, but actually it's fine. だから some people might have stomachache, mostly fine. だから don't need to buy water from the shop. 薬はほんまに多い. I haven't had for 2 years. That's a miracle だよね。
Don't be leaving your possessions out in public.
iPhone がめっちゃ盗まれやすいらしい。So my phone is iPhone XR だから no one needs. So maybe that's the reason だと思うんだけど、新しい iPhone とか持ってる人はほんまに気をつけてください。肩紐一時期私も持ってたんですけど、そう着る人もいるみたいなんで、ポケットから出した瞬間とかにバッて隣から取られるとかも聞いたことがあるので、貴重品を出すとき、街中で出すときは周りをちょっと一回ぐるっと見てから確認してから出すように。せっかく旅行を楽しみに来てるのにいろいろ盗まれたって言って帰ってくるの嫌やからね。ホテルのアメニティ Japanese hotel has everything なのね。 We don't need anything to go to stay in the hotel. In the UK we don't have なのね。The maybe expensive hotel has.
I think most hotels will have body soap or shampoo. You shouldn't assume that they will, but lots of them will. You know, you should bring your own toothbrush.
So,
bring your own toothpaste. Stuff
bring
like
your
that.
own shampoo, body soap. でパジャマスもいるし、タオルは大体あります。だけどほんまにそれ以外はほとんどないと思っていいぐらいほんまにないので持って行ってください。まあロンドンってかイギリスに来たらアフタヌーンティーを食べたい飲みたいっていう人がいっぱいいると思うんですけど、ほんまに量が多いです。大体の人はほんまにお腹いっぱいになるんで、しかも紅茶もいっぱいポットいっぱいに入って、それでもお腹結構膨れちゃうんで全部食べれないっていう人が多分いると思うんですね。日本では、ほとんどやってないと思うんですけど、海外で結構普通なのが食べきれなかったご飯を家に持って帰ることができるんですね。レストランとかそのカフェとかの人にちょっとこれだけ持って帰りたいから包んでくれへんって聞いたら全然箱持ってきてくれたりとか、そのお店でやってくれたりとか包んでくれたりするので、もし食べきれなくって次の日の朝ごはんとかに回せそうやなと思ったらお店の人に頼んでみてください。持って帰りやすいものを選んだ方がいいと思います。残すならね、スコーンとかサンドイッチとかの方が、持って帰りやすいかなと思うんですけど。
These days, I think everywhere will do it.
もったいないなと思ったらぜひ、ね、お店の人に頼んで持って帰ってみてください。アダプターだね。
So your electrical devices will not plug into the wall here. So good to remember to get an adapter. The UK one has 3 prongs, 3 metal bits, or the top bit can be plastic too, not important. You know. And for the weather, there's, everyone knows the stereotypes about the UK being rainy. You might be surprised, depending on where you go and what time of year. It rains reasonably often. Like, I think what might be confusing for people coming from Japan is the rain happens more often here, but it's much lighter, which is why people just wear hoodies. Like, umbrellas are not that common to see. Folks still use them. The weather, really the big difference is that it can change quickly. So you should be prepared for unusually warm temperatures sometimes, and you should be ready for it to be unusually cold or for it to suddenly become rainy.
The weather forecast always change. だから、don't make plans by looking the weather forecast. It will really change a lot. ほんまに当てにしない方がいいと思います。
So lots of Japanese people come to the UK and other countries on package holidays. and they all get on like a bus together and travel around the country. You don't need to do this. Very easy to book things around the country. You know, book your own hotels, book your own travel. It's not that difficult. And if you're not so confident in your English, you'll probably still be okay. I met lots of Japanese people who thought that their English was bad, but really it's not that bad, you know. And especially if you come to London, it's an incredibly international city. So people are used to dealing with lots of people who don't speak English as a first language.
Yeah.
It's very normal.
And easy to change plans if you're not feeling well. If your package holiday can't. で、見たいもの見れるしね、自分らで好きな時間使って。パッケージホリデーはいらないと思います。
Yeah, these are our main tips. If you have any other questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments.
We want you to enjoy staying in the UK. だから、
you know, don't worry too much. Have a good time.
If you think this video will be useful,
if we said anything you weren't expecting, give us a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe for more helpful tips and or funny anime character videos.
And leave us comments for requests, questions.
For now, thanks for watching.
See you next time. Bye 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 bye. Wiping.